Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this out there on the World Wide Web. This is Jeremy Geelan for SYS-CON TV. We are here at 8th Cloud Expo. That's Cloud Expo New York. Lawrence Guillory is with us too, CEO of Racemi. Welcome aboard, Lawrence.
Thank you, Jeremy.
It's been another good show, Lawrence. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but there's really no getting away from it.
Yeah, I think the 8th show is one of the best. This is our 4th. And the second one with the booth will be done in November. And I think what's really neat about it is this is a show where we're seeing real customers show up in groves. It has been a mix of where a lot of vendors were coming in to check out what other products are going to the market, but now it's a lot of buyers wanting to buy and solve their cloud needs.
Right. So, I mean, let's call a spade a spade.
It's getting very robust. And I think it's a reflection of the market, and I think this is one of the best shows in the market, too.
Well, of course, we're just riding on the coattails of the fact that, as you say, it's getting real. Let's drill down into that. Why has that happened? What's this sudden, not sudden, it's been mounting for a while, but why is it so clear-cut now that people are ready to use the cloud?
Well, I think you have to give credit to the financial crisis that we had. If the financial crisis happened, it did not happen, we wouldn't have the counter trend of data center automation that led to cloud computing, led to all the CIOs being handed from their CEOs and CFOs goals around automation, IT efficiency, and other things.
Do more with less.
That's the catalyst, right? And then second credit goes to the early adopters, all the folks that have built cloud platforms like, first mover, Amazon, and jumping on this. And other platforms that followed, and then the early adopter customers that have built their products and proved it out, used it as testimonies, showed what went right, what went wrong, gave requirements to second generation, third generation cloud products. And it's really exciting because it's my belief that we're now working with the mainstream customers as they figure out how to dip their toe in the cloud, and it's a really exciting time.
You and I have always had this, you're a great guru, really. You're very good at looking at the industry, anticipating it, or explaining, where it's come from. How does that translate into Racemi? I'm going to give you a real softball, Lawrence, because clearly that's the DNA of the company too, this kind of insightful approach.
Right, so the funny side of that is because we were so early to market. We're constantly looking far out saying, when's it going to come in? And so we've been watching it for a long time. Racemi is data center automation software specifically on provisioning. We can provision any server, any virtual machine. We capture as a single image, whether it's physical, virtual, or cloud, to or from. We make those migrations automatic, 100% automatic. Hypervisor conversions, VMware to Hyper-V to Zen. We make all of those conversions automatic. Cloud-to-cloud migrations. Right now, you can capture a server image on-premise in a private data center, move it into Amazon, copy it into Rackspace, copy it into Terramark. Next will be GoGrid, followed by Software, OpSource, and we're just going to do that for all of them, and then get out of that and go cloud to cloud, go back into private data centers, and go onto physical or virtual. Doesn't matter what hypervisor or server type that you started on or what cloud you started on. We make all the changes automated for you. And it all came from us focusing originally on dynamic computing. And dynamic computing was around data center automation. And I think all of those companies that focused on some part of the data center automation ecosystem, other than runbook automation and some of the config management stuff, for the most part, we were sitting there thinking this is an academic market, when's it going to materialize? So back going full circle, when the market crashed and CIOs had to be efficient, that led to had to be automation. And here came the opportunity for companies like Racemi that have been around for 10 years, building great technology in a very complex space.
And is it something that needs a term, this approach to automation? Do you have a name for it that will stick? Shall we coin one live?
Well, I think a category that works rather than trying to introduce something new is automated image-based provisioning to dissimilar infrastructure, including physical, virtual, and cloud. I'd put it, I know that's long-winded, but image-based provisioning is radically different than script-based provisioning. There's products out there that can do script-based provisioning, but that's great for building one box. When you're talking about 10,000 servers across 2 data centers, across the WAN, or across 2 different public cloud providers and a private cloud provider, You can't do that with scripting, so it's got to be image-based. The second thing is it's got to be 100% fully automated. If it's not fully automated, you don't have a private cloud, you don't have a hybrid cloud, you don't have automation. What you've got is semi-automation, and semi-automation is extremely painful. You can get 15% of the way or 50% of the way, but if you've got to stop and have admins inject drivers and whatnot, I mean, it's not a situation where your admins can rest at night and your CIOs can rest at night and your business guys can rest at night because the system's not fully automated, the cloud's not fully automated. And in this market, back to the mainstream adopters, they're not going to be satisfied with a half solution. They want the full solution, full automation, and that's where Racemi comes in as part of the ecosystem, driving out the provisioning aspect. The ability to go from physical to virtual to cloud anywhere, and we intelligently, on the fly, inject the proper drivers, make the changes, and allow the system to work independent of human intervention. That is a huge part of this cloud market, and that's the one niche that we focus on.
So say it again, so that if somebody hasn't got that, they know to ask, why don't we have that? Fully automated, image-driven.
Image-based provisioning, fully automated to dissimilar infrastructure, has to cut across all the different physical model server types, has to cross all the major hypervisors, has to go to all the major clouds, independent of any direction, intelligently make all the changes on the fly, no human intervention, and that's the key.
So if that is what you need and you only just understood that Racemi can provision that way, go to Racemi.com. Why is it called Racemi? Let's leave that with people's minds need to know that, so they spell it right.
Yeah, so it's Racemi, which really should be Racemi, which is Italian for cluster grapes. And so Racemi originally founded around building one of the first and getting the first patents on a blade server. So a blade server on a common chassis, shared resources. Our founders enjoyed wine. So Racemi, a cluster of grapes, and that's where it all started.
Okay, so Racemi.com. Head there now. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for speaking with us here in New York. Talk to you again in where are we going? Santa Clara in November. Hope you'll join us too out there on the World Wide Web.